Origins is right around the corner, and I couldn't be more excited. Like, we're finally getting the story of young Ghost and Tommy, and what is best is that we're having Kanan and Breeze's story as well. All right, so let's start with the cast, and then we can take a look at the plot, theories, and the release date. The confirmed names are Spence Moore, Charlie Mann, and Mackay Curtis as young Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan. But we all know if we're getting Kanan, then we're getting Shamik Moore as Breeze and Haley Kilgore as Jukebox, right? You can't separate these five, and Origins will tell the story of how it all began and what happened after raising Kanan. A user on Reddit called Batman Told shared their theories on these characters, and I agree with most of them. So let's see them one by one, and let me add my insight on these theories and characters, starting with Ghost. According to the user, we need to see Ghost's father and uncle, Curtis and Gabe. We all know Ghost's mama left because of Curtis, so in Origins, we might also get to see her and all the events that lead to her departure. We also know Ghost moved in with Tommy after Curtis was killed. If the show introduces Ghost's parents, I think we're definitely going to see Ghost's life at home and his relationship with his parents, as well as who killed Curtis. Also, how that strong bond was formed between Ghost and Tommy. In Origins, I genuinely expect the show to reveal both Ghost's and Tommy's backgrounds more, so I'm completely on board with this theory on Ghost. The user also says Kanan or Breeze might have killed Ghost's father, and while it makes sense, I'm not really sure about that. The same user said we'll see Tommy as the odd man out, as he's the only white boy in South Jamaica, Queens, and he'll probably be willing to go to extreme lengths to prove himself to those around him. If you give it a thought, this definitely makes sense. Tommy has been trying to prove himself ever since this franchise began. Heck, even in Force, he's still trying to be number one because success, fame, and money are never enough for him. He's so impulsive and in love with taking risks. This might be because he constantly felt the urge to prove himself, prove that he's not just a white boy. The user says that he'll turn to the streets to take care of himself due to his mama's addiction and neglect. If that happens, and I believe it will, this could explain how easily Tommy and Ghost trusted each other. It's like they have the same motivation to survive no matter what the cost is, and I love it. Now, let's take a look at Kanan. We all know he was really close to our boys, and they always talk good about him. Ghost even said he was there for him when he lost his father, so in Origins, just like Batman Told, I expect nothing but their rise in the streets. I think for a while they'll be really good friends. But since we don't know how raising Kanan will end for now, I can't tell for sure. If Kanan really killed Rock in raising Kanan, then we'll probably see a tougher, more merciless version of him in Origins, who might not be that good friend Tommy and Ghost always talked about. All right, now let's talk about Breeze, the guy who gave Ghost his nickname. We've been hearing his name from the OG show, but could only meet him in Raising Kanan Season 5. We also know Ghost and Tommy eventually get rid of him, but until that time arrives, I think his presence in Origins will be really important. I also believe Breeze will be the one who'll ask Kanan to be their mentor because he'll see the potential in Tommy and Ghost, while Kanan will simply see them as nothing but trouble and a threat to their business. Last but not least, I also think we're going to see Jukebox. Though I also don't expect her to be a regular in the show, I think she'll be there for a few scenes because Ghost and Tommy definitely knew her. If she prevented Kanan from killing his own mama and showed him the truth, then I expect Kanan and Juke to be a bit closer. But at the end of the day, we all know they grew apart over the years. Still, seeing them closer would be a good twist, even though we all know how it ends eventually. Now let's take a look at the official synopsis. Apparently, this new show will highlight the unbridled audacity of young men on the rise, determined to become legends in the game. So I'm guessing we'll see them starting from scratch, giving everything they've got to become legends in NYC. I feel like they'll start a business from scratch, grab Breeze and Kanan's attention, and then they'll begin to work together. Kanan will teach them everything they should know, provide them a network and leverage. Since this is a prequel and I love both Joseph Sikora and Omari Hardwick, I'd love one of them to narrate the story. But Joseph will be in another spinoff called Legacy, so I prefer Omari to narrate Origin's story. On the other hand, I sadly think that's pretty unlikely. Conquest or Die on Reddit said, "I'm expecting Tommy to narrate the story. Would be ill if he were talking to Tariq the whole time." I think it's a nice idea, but since we're having a Tommy and Tariq spinoff, I want the creators to find a better idea for the narration. But what do you think? All right, what about the release date? We don't have an official word on that, but what we know is that they're filming since this video from the set where we see young Kanan and Ghost was leaked. We also know the first season will be 18 episodes, so it's going to take a while to wrap filming. What we also know is that this will work as a continuation of Raising Kanan, so we got to see that first. I'm guessing we'll have the 5th and final season of Raising Kanan in spring of 2026, and then we can watch Origins in late 2026. In the trailer, I expect to see the character dynamics to set the tone for the season. When the trailer or any leaked clips drop, I'll be right here to scrutinize, so make sure to subscribe and watch this to learn everything you need to know about Legacy.